So, Playtown Genesis is a set in 1960s game in which you play as Dr. Clint. You have to navigate dangerous corridors of underground facility. Sounds fun to me. Let's dive into it. The game starts in a room, simple one with 3 straight beds and 2 paintings. One of them shows some sort of gems, I suppose. With the next one, I'm not sure how to describe it. The room also has massive black doors with red middle. The moment we approach the door, we hear knocking from the other side, followed by a voice shortly after. As soon as doors open, we see this creature, because what in the fuck did I just see? I know it's a dino probably, but its looks and voice make me think of Drog. I swear. So I don't know, something welcomes us and asks us to follow him. We see I order written on a wall, and okay, so that's an important detail, I suppose. We follow the red, whatever the fuck it is, till we see giant eyeball with piercing blue color, and then the Drog talks to us. It tells us in the weird voice that he has a meeting and asks us to just do our tasks. After that, he disappears and we get an objective to find ID card machine. The machine turns out to be a yellow with 3 buttons and it's in need of battery. On machine it's written to find 3 pieces of plastic which will be used to create the ID card. Battery is easy to find as it's still in the room. Once we find the plastic required for the machine, it creates an ID card with the name Oliver Clint. We find the green text saying our task is to get the diamond to Eyezs'Lores lab and study it. We take a yellow gem from the table. Next objective we get in a big dark room. We have to fill yellow basket with tools. The tools we find are a chainsaw, yellow helmet, and a saw. They either belong to some worker or someone is doing some interesting stuff in here. Putting stuff in the basket opens a corridor on the side, which leads to a red button on the wall. And as smart as we are, who doesn't click a red button when they see one? So yeah, the button has opened another door in the main room, which lock right after we enter. The background sound we hear is the least, I would say, concerning. So soon after we get jump scared by a floating down the corridor something shining purple light. On both sides of where it ran to, there are 2 closed doors. So yeah, weird. So the middle doors open once approached, and our objective is to find an entrance to Eyezs'Lores lab. We see a room with 3 shining crystals in it. The writing on the wall says that the crystals have special powers. One side is made out of glass which easily breaks. We enter the room with crystals which touched make a weird effect. And the very pink eyeball behind us starts talking to us and asking for help. It mentions that rebellion needs us.
Wolves have ears. Follow me.
So the eyeball asks us to follow it and takes us downstairs. We enter some sort of light which lands us in rebellion's base. Once we find the eyeball again, it welcomes us to the base. It gives us a task. We have to get into ventilation, find Eyezs'Lores' room, overhear his meeting with Yolt, and come report it back. We open ventilation with a button and climb into it using a found crate. Okay, so we find the meeting, and yeah, that dude's name is Yolt, but he's still a Drog. A giant eyeball talks to him about how Clint and the Drog are supposed to create powerful monsters that would be their slaves.
And protect the Eye Order. They will be our slaves.
So we go to report everything to Garnet, which is the name of the pink eyeball. Midway through the ventilation, we fall down. We find blue gem this time, which we can use to open door further. We enter a room in which we have to look for some crown to put on the pedestal in the middle. We then find a thing where we have to set the right color combination. Once we do, the doors open and we see a blue eyeball that starts talking to us about how we're getting arrested, but the pink eyeball saves us. It asks us what is the yellow crystal we carried all the way, telling us to toss it into lava. It makes me think the crystal can locate us somehow or whatever, but we don't get option to throw it, not really. The eyeball talks about how we gotta prevent them from creating the mascots and gives us a mission to plant a bomb in Eyezs'Lores lab and detonate it once back to safe. On the wall there is a text saying "Do not betray," which is ironic that we are right under the sign while doing it. Next objective is exactly to locate the lab and place the bomb. The lab looks concerning as there is blood on the floor, but yeah, normal. So we plant the bomb and then we teleport back to the pink eyeball where we hear the explosion of the lab.
Damn it, Clint! We got the wrong lab!
So after it already exploded, the eyeball says that we got the wrong lab. Well. We get a task to hide from the guards as they are looking for us now. Suddenly, we bump into Drog. I know it's old, but come on. He tells us not to worry as our friend is doing fine, but we hear screams in the background, which probably means he isn't. So if we try to go, Yold gets mad at us and tells us to come back. So yeah, him and the giant blue eyeball both try to catch us. Once they do, we get a jump scare and land in jail. The drug guy comes to bully us, saying we ain't getting out of there anytime soon. And he tells us not to trust anyone, including him. But why would we trust him? Getting out of the jail is pretty easy. We just crawl through the ventilation and then go through the door on the left side. So the Garnet, the pink eyeball, asks us to rescue him, saying they're gonna kill him soon. And so on, the red button we find opens his cell too. We follow him through the corridor and end up in a room where we have to collect all the basketballs. Once we do it, it opens the doors and we get a small parkour, which Eyeball helps us with. Next are opened by finding and installing the missing fuse. Although once doors do open, we see a full pack of our enemies, with the main leader Eyeball with the 3 gems above and the blue ones, which are the guards, including Yold. So here we go, again locked up, except we get a transition to 2 years later. We get informed that it's day 614 and we have to get to work. On a wall we see instructions: mine every crystal, get back to cell, and repeat to left. Well, sounds kinda vague to me. We mine crystals and then suddenly all guards are called to stadium. Our guard goes ordering us to stay and not move. We get an objective to escape this nightmare. We run and we see signs telling us to go back to cell. But, well, who would listen? Eventually, we enter the train tracks and get into authorized personnel only area. We get into a room that has directions with different locations marked on the floor and light shining through ceiling. We enter the hospital one with objective to look for clues to escape. And we also see a message saying that we escaped from the cell, cause duh, we did. And I guess there is a reward for us. So as we look for a way out, a guard starts to chase us, and well, we get caught. And yeah, few hours later they send us into some arena where they let a monster out to kill us. And yeah, we die. So well, we get an ending message, which is something about Garnet seeking revenge, and yeah. Well, but that was one of a nice game. So, if you'd like to see more game lores explained, then make sure to hit that sub button, and with that, peace out.